So I had an idea. Instead of making a video of recreating historical pictures, I had an idea of, well, finding the weirdest things school banned. So these are one of my favorite responses. My school banned that S everyone draws. They thought it was a gang symbol. What the actual... Well, I understand why schools think this. But actually I don't. A school in my town banned black crayons. If you brought crayons to school, you had to leave the black one at... Oh wait. A school in my town banned black crayons. If you brought crayons to school, you had to leave the black one at home or you'd get in trouble. This is what you call racism. Those black wristbands, where if you snapped someone else's, they owed you the deed. People took it seriously and started doing the deed at school. Well, okay. Wearing backpacks in the hallways between classes. They had to be kept in the lockers all day. Made carrying books a pain. Why would schools do this? I mean, why? My school's homecoming last year was Harry Potter themed, but they ended up banning all magic related items from the dance because some parents were afraid it was gonna turn their kids to Satanism or some shit. Then why does Harry Potter exist? My senior year at high school, they banned yoga pants. Not so weird, but the reaction was golden. At the assembly, it was announced one of the guys sitting in the back of the auditorium yelled in the saddest voice I have ever heard, "But the booty!" He sounded absolutely devastated. This, guys, is what you call a golden reaction. My school banned anything that might have had to do with magic. All of our dictionaries had words with like witch, sorcerer and wizard crossed out in black Sharpie. What is the deal with schools and magic / Satanism? I mean, what? Why? My elementary school banned any kind of sport or game, like basketball, football, foursquare, etc. At recess. We were also only allowed to hang out in groups of 3. This lasted about a week. Why would schools ban football or baseball? Wait, basketball, my bad. Why? Crocs, because some kid fell down the stairs wearing them. I bet the kid hadn't the Crocs in sport mode. Tubas. Well, I think some weird ass thoughts are coming into my own head right now, and I do not want to talk about them because they are pretty weird. We could not wear backpacks during class or during the day at all. We could only use them if it was the beginning of the day, you were going home early, it was the end of the day. Apparently they were afraid we would hide crossbows in them or something. My school at least is normal. My school isn't banning the most ridiculous things, thankfully. Wi-Fi. To make this easier to understand, my school, private school, was tiny. The high school consisted of 30 people or so, and my graduating class was 12 of those 30 people. For this reason, the teachers encouraged us to use our laptops and even provided Wi-Fi throughout the school. The Wi-Fi was great and we all thought it was awesome. But when we returned to the school after the summer, we noticed there was no Wi-Fi anymore, and instead there were miniature gateways. I think that's the correct term. All of the tables had an Ethernet patch cables sprawled across the tables. The reason for this? The parents of one of the students in the elementary portion of the school complained that the Wi-Fi signals would turn their son's eyebrows purple and would kill him. What the actual fuck? Of course, we later found out this was bullshit and it was a means to save money since the students would connect to the Wi-Fi with their phones and use up a lot of data that way. That is the most weirdest rumor I have ever read on Reddit. What the actual fuck? Tamagotchis, heelys, hula hoops, jump ropes, gang rape. Okay. Pokemon snowforts over the height of an ankle, basically anything fun. I had a terrible childhood. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, bruh. They banned Coke from the Coke vending machine for health reasons. First of all, which of the two? Not so weird yet. But they didn't ban Sprite, Fanta, etc. Let alone chocolate bars or so. Well, which of the Coke? Because... Nah, I will not elaborate. Our school banned wearing anything with camo print. This was a year or two after 9/11, and I think it was a sensitivity thing for students who had family members in the service. You don't have to ban it. You can also just say like, you can wear it, but the children... No, never mind. Girls weren't allowed to call each other and plan outfits for the next day. Girls weren't allowed to touch the young and fit track coach. What the fuck? Girls weren't allowed to have band-aids on their faces. I don't even know why. This is exactly what I mean when this is what I mean when I say that girls are not equal to men. I had a necklace banned for being a gang sign. School had 400 students and was beside a cornfield. The necklace was two dragons with wings around a staff. That sounds oddly familiar.